CBS News. See it now, anytime.
She was attacked, she was robbed, she was raped, and now she just wants to go back to her home in Kansas. Tonight, she tells Action TV's Melissa Vega her story.
Her name is Kelly. She doesn't want to show her face, but she does want to tell her story.
It's a 3-day vacation that turned into a nightmare.
Kelly arrived in Corpus Christi back on June 11th with her 26-year-old daughter and her daughter's friend. Her daughter's friend was the one who drove them here and was their only ride back to Kansas.
She drove down here and met up with her ex-husband, unfortunately, and decided not to leave.
Though Kelly was stranded, she was desperate to throw her father's ashes into the water on June 12th. That was the day her father died 10 years ago and was also her birthday. Kelly says she found the closest area of water she could right here off the 10,000 block of SPID over in Flower Bluff. Kelly says she walked up to the water and sat on a towel with her father's ashes in hand.
Saying goodbye and I love you, and this doesn't mean I don't love you, and it's time to let go, and praying.
As she was saying goodbye to her father, Kelly says she was attacked from behind and raped in broad daylight.
I was laying on a towel, and after the rape, he grabbed the towel out from under me and wiped himself off. And when he did, the ashes just flung everywhere.
And Kelly says after that brutal attack, she managed to gain enough strength to gather what was left of her father's ashes and put them in the water.
Of course, ashes fly. But he's in the water. He's there finally.
Kelly's attacker also made off with her purse that she had over $850 in.
But I had my savings and my travel money and my rent money and my bill money in my purse. And he took my purse. And
Kelly says she has no money, no ID, and desperately wants to go home.
And we're just trying to get home. We've got to get home.
Kelly says she's called a number of different agencies around town, but no one will help her. Action 10 News called the Corpus Christi Police Department, and they told us they will give Kelly and her daughter bus tickets to go back to Kansas. And while it looks like Kelly may be on her way home, she doesn't understand why this had to happen.
Being raped while I'm trying to let go of my dad's ashes, my God. I mean, what kind of a monster would do something like that?
Melissa Vega, Action 10 News.
Well, tonight, CCPD is still looking for the man suspected of sexually assaulting Kelly. Now, here is what he looks like. Police say he's a white man between 20 to 25 years old. He has dyed black hair with blonde roots, and he has tattoos on his face and on his neck. If you recognize this man, call Crime Stoppers. It's 888-TIPS. The verdict in the United States versus Citgo trial is now in the hands of the jury. And after deliberating briefly late this afternoon, they've recessed until Monday. Action 10's Andy Lascano is just back from the federal courthouse.
Jen, did Citgo's Corpus Christi refinery knowingly operate 2 of its tanks without the required emissions control? Those are among the charges against them. And did they knowingly expose more than 6 megagrams of benzene into the atmosphere? Benzene that created such an odor, folks living in the nearby neighborhoods were affected, some even testifying it woke them from a deep sleep in the middle of the night. Prosecutor Howard Stewart said they did, that Citgo did in his closing argument today. The defense argued it did not. The jury will decide based on the evidence presented. Citgo faces probation and a fine of up to $500,000 if charged. The jury now will make the decision and decide the verdict based on the evidence presented. Live in the News Center, Andy Lascano, Action 10 News.
It seems every major road on the city's south side is under construction. Crews pulled out jackhammers today to tear up and repave Williams and Corona between Everhart and Staples, but the construction chaos doesn't stop there. Crews are working on Everhart, McArdle, and Wooldridge as they improve road problems. Another issue is growing driver frustration.
I think they should have planned this out. We'll do this side first and we'll get this done, then we'll work on that side, and then we'll work on over there.
And I just live off Williams, so it's really hard, you know, to pick a street to go through. So
when will the construction chaos come to an end? Well, it depends on the project. Wooldridge between Airline and Rodfield will not be completely finished until October 2008. The construction on McCardle, Corona, and Williams will be finished in about 10 weeks, and it'll take about 2 months to finish the construction on Everhart. City officials are hoping to have 10 red light cameras installed by July 22nd, but crews are running behind schedule. Actionton's Ben Gegenheimer joins us now with the details.
Thanks, Jen. City officials plan to have 4 red light cameras up by today's date, but they only have 1 in operation so far. However, police have already seen results from the camera at the intersection of Everhart and Holly. Since it was installed 2 months ago, nearly 350 drivers have received violation notices in the mail for running that light, a $75 fine. Police Captain Jay Besley says that there's no doubt the red light cameras will have an effect on people's driving habits.
If Corpus Christi is the same as other cities, what we're going to see is a remarkable decrease in red light running throughout the entire city, not just at where the red light cameras are, but any place that there's a stoplight, because most people just get in the habit of stopping when there's a light's about to turn red as opposed to trying to run it.
Now, city officials say that the first 4 cameras will be up by next weekend, and add that everything seems to be on track to have all 10 cameras up and running by July 22nd deadline. In the studio, Ben Gegenheimer, Action 10 News.
Well, starting today, Corpus Christi police officers are using a new weapon in their fight against crime. 50 police officers are now carrying taser guns. The guns release a paralyzing 50,000-volt shock. And as you just saw, officers themselves had to be tased before they could be cleared to carry the guns. Also joining the rank of CCPD's new crime-fighting tools is their newest weapon against tagging. The graffiti truck was unveiled earlier this week, and it hit the streets today, power blasting graffiti at Chiquito Park. Now, this truck is equipped with 100 feet of hose, a 225-gallon tank filled with water and baking soda, and a diesel-powered power washer to blast away the mess. Contrary to what some former members are saying, the Corpus Christi Chamber of Commerce says it is not in disagreement over the proposed Crosstown Commons outdoor mall near the Crosstown Expressway in Hawley. Now, the Chamber CEO says he has the authority to speak without prior consent of the board members. Now, here's some of what he said today.
I am authorized by contract to speak on behalf of the board of directors when they're not in session on any issue. And they have full faith and confidence in what I say and do.
Obviously, as an organization, we don't want to see is cannibalization, relocations from one existing business to another.
Chamber CEO Terry Carter went on to say the Chamber of Commerce supports equal opportunities for new and existing businesses. That bike is a crowd stopper. Hooks fans lined up for a look Thursday evening. And as we've been telling you all week, it could be yours through the One Sweet Ride campaign benefiting the American Diabetes Association. Raffle tickets are $10 and act fast because they are selling faster than you can say ADA. Now, you can get the tickets here at the Actionton studio or at Hooks home games. And keep in mind, every dime of that is going to the local chapter of the American Diabetes Associations. Well, if hogs aren't your style, maybe this is. Today is International Take Your Pet to Work Day. Our David Mazza has his 4-legged friend, Miss Willow, to help him out with the weather today. Dave?
That's right. I have Miss Willow with me. I brought her to work. Today is celebrating National Pet Day, or Take Your Pet to Work Day, and it's to help boost morale around the station. I know all my coworkers have enjoyed having Willow here, but I'll tell you what, it has been quite a workout for me, chasing her around all over the studio, and still doing weather in the meantime. And speaking of weather, we do have some heavy rains down towards the south of us, which could produce flooding across parts of the coastal bend. I'll run down the complete forecast coming up in just a minute.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, coming up, death is no laughing matter, but one death row inmate is making light of his own. We'll explain straight ahead. Also ahead, if you're scratching your head as to why your pets are scratching their paws off, stay tuned and see why fleas are worse than they've been in a long time. It's next.
You're watching KZTV Action 10 News at 6 with Jennifer Leda, meteorologist David Mazza, and Roland Rodriguez.
Hi, folks. Brian Williford here with Al Williford Chevrolet. Summer is...
His days are numbered, but despite the grim future, one Texas death row inmate plans to go out with a laugh. In the coming week, Patrick Knight will be executed for a double murder he committed 16 years ago. And for his final words, he'll tell a joke. He launched an internet joke contest from his prison cell and will choose from hundreds of suggestions. Now, victims' rights advocates say it is insensitive to the victims' families, while Knight has this to say.
I don't think it is. It has nothing to do with him. I know that sounds cold right there, but it has nothing to do with him.
The victims didn't get to say goodbye, tell a joke, laugh.
There is nothing the Texas Department of Justice can do about it. A spokesperson says the only thing that death row inmates are prohibited from doing is using obscenities. When you add rainy days with the Texas heat, you get a perfect recipe for fleas. According to a Houston veterinarian, Texas fleas are stronger and busier than they've been in years. The population is on the rise, and they're starting to show some resistance to traditional flea treatments. Because of the strong season, vets recommend taking your pets into their offices so that the pets can run flea-free. Good news at the pump. Gasoline prices continue to ease. According to AAA Texas, the state average price of gas dropped 4 cents since last week. The state average for regular unleaded is $2.91 a gallon. But here in Corpus Christi, drivers are filling up for around $2.71 a gallon. Industry experts expect prices to sizzle in late July and August when hurricane threats come. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist David Mazza and Miss Willow will have your complete weather forecast when Action 10 News at 6 returns.
Now your local. In the morning, you want weather information for the day, right? Now on Action 10 News Daybreak, get your weather forecast instantly with Instant Weather. Right here every morning for the entire newscast. No more waiting for weather info. It's Instant Weather, brought to you by Valero Energy.
Builders Association, Corpus Christi area, and First Community Bank are celebrating the 2007 Parade of Homes, Saturday, June 23rd through Sunday, July 1st.
Featuring the newest intriguing designs and specially selected homes. Get your parade map at any First Community Bank location or Champion Toyota.
First Community Bank is a proud supporter of the Builders Association. Thanks to our sponsors, Champion Toyota, American Bank, the Grass Company, Time Warner Cable, and these other fine sponsors.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries program.
And now, your Action Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist David Mazza.
And welcome back. Looking at our Doppler 10 storm tracker live this evening. A lot of showers and thunderstorms, especially down towards the southwest Jim Hogg County, seeing a good deal of thunderstorms. Some of these tops extremely cold. Just looking at last hour, cloud tops 80 degrees below 0 Celsius with some of these. So very cold, very tall clouds out there. And you can see these heavier rainfall returns with those red and dark maroon colors. Now looking at our storm tracker live rainfall estimates from the past 12 hours, so when the sun's been out, look at some of these areas south of Hebronville, that is. We're looking at nearly 7-inch rainfall estimate totals out there just in the last 12 hours south of Falfurrias. We're looking at numbers at about near 3 inches, and also up near parts of Jim Wells County, that is, we're seeing rainfall totals near 2 inches also. So we've seen a lot of rain throughout the day today, and we also saw some interesting weather out at the coast. We've got a picture of a water spout taken by Julie Sodrock. I hope I got her last name correct. Thank you very much for sending us these beautiful pictures of a water spout off Port Aransas at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Let me move out of the way of this and show it to you. You can see this rope-like structure going all the way out towards the water. And a lot of times if you are near the water during a water spout, you can see a lot of things shooting out of the water, including water and occasionally some fish. So something interesting to show you this afternoon. Julie, thank you very much for that picture. Now, as far as the water vapor imagery goes, this shows how much water is in the air. These darker spots, these black spots, and the purples, or the kind of orangish colored spots, I guess you call them, are the dry air, and the white and the green are the very moist air that we're seeing out there right now. We do have a jet stream that's kind of zonal across the country, except for that little twist that followed my hand down there. But we are continuing to see a little ripple in the jet right through North Texas, and we do have a wave that's going right through the center of the state down here into South Texas, and you can see that wave erupting here across South and the South Texas and the coastal bend this evening, and that's where all that rainfalls came through. We've got a ton of rain to work with, so it looks like over the next couple of hours we've got some wet weather to deal with, and I think most of this will begin to break down a little bit as far as the thunderstorms go, but the rainfall will continue for most of the night, especially out towards the west. Now, we do have a couple of flash flood watches in effect, one for Duval County and a flash flood warning in effect for Jim Hogg County until 7 o'clock this evening. You can see temperatures have been cool throughout most of the day today because of that rain-cooled air and very cloudy skies, and it looks like it will be sticking around as we head towards the weekend. So Supercast Live, here's that rainfall out towards the west. The bullseye still staying over Webb County by tomorrow morning, but you can see a little flank heading into the coastal sections. That will continue to move northward tomorrow afternoon, so make your outdoor plans indoors for tomorrow, as we're going to see a pretty good chance of rain, but it will fade out tomorrow night, and Sunday looking like the better of the 2 weekend days, as we should see some more sun with just a slight chance of rain. So this evening, if you are going to be out and about, bring the umbrella. 78's where we're dropping off to 75 for the overnight low. Thunderstorms still possible, and they'll pick up again tomorrow afternoon with a high right around 88 degrees. I think that'll come right around lunchtime. The good news over the next 7 days, lots of chances of rain and afternoon highs. Check this out, the next 7 days, not a single 90 on the map. They'll all stay in the upper 80s.
Well, it was a wild night at Whataburger Field last night.
You're telling me, check this out, both teams combined for 25 hits and 17 runs. Is that crazy?
That's pretty good.
That's a lot of offense. Anyway, we'll talk more about the Hooks next in sports.
This portion of the news is brought to you by your Corpus Christi and Alice Family Eye Centers.
This is your Action 10 News Sports Report with Roland Rodriguez.
Hello, South Texas. Hope everything is going well. Last night, the Corpus Christi Hooks came out swinging the bats against Frisco, racking up 12 hits to go with their 11 runs. Hooks now 2-1 in the second half of the season with their 11-6 win over the Rough Riders. Both teams will go at it again tonight, starting at 7:05.
You know, we can get everything rolling at the same time. You know, we had a little problem early on with the pitching, especially the bullpen, but they seem to be coming around a little bit. We've always felt that we were going to swing the bats and catch the ball, so we could just get the pitching going along with the hitting. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, there was a little adjustment period, and we got some new guys in that have done a good job, and it was an adjustment period where we had to get used to Double A. We had a lot of first-year Double A guys, and they've done a good job of adjusting and learning to play at this level.
All right, the 18-20 Coastal Bend Aviators on the road tonight, starting a 7-game road trip, 3 in Pensacola and the next 4 in Fort Worth. Aviators sitting 4 games out of first place behind 22-16 El Paso. Staying on the baseball diamond, Thursday, North Carolina beat Rice 7-4 to advance to the College World Series championship round. And for the second straight year, the top-ranked Tar Heels will go up against Oregon State, the defending champs. Game 1 of this College World Series championship game Saturday night. You know what? I think it's time to talk a little indoor football. Why don't we? Coming up for the Corpus Christi Hammerheads, they'll be in action Saturday at the American Bank Center. The 1-9 Sharks still looking for their second win of the season. And by the way, they've been playing pretty good football as of late. So I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to tell you, they will beat Laredo Saturday night. Laredo is 1-9 on the season, just in case you're wondering. The 8-1 Corpus Christi Hammerheads will be looking for their 7th straight victory when they play Louisiana.
At the same time, we feel like we're more talented and we feel like we're better coached. To us, we are the elite of the league, and we have to come out and prove that. We got beat in the championship game last year and really felt like we were the better team, and we got to come in this year and prove that.
Yeah, we do. Louisiana's a great team. It seems that whenever we play them, whoever has the ball last ends up winning the game. So
we know they're a very athletic team. We're going to have to, of course, not have a shootout. We're going to have to make it we're going to have to make sure it's not a shootout. We're going to have to make sure our offense gets down and scores. And defensively, we've got to make them take as long as possible to get in the end zone. But we know they're definitely going to get in there, so we just have to jump back and just stay at them, stay at their throats.
Good luck, fellas, and that is sports.
Hi, folks. Ryan Williford here again with Al Williford Chevrolet.
And guys, we do have some rain in our forecast tonight, and unfortunately, as we head towards tomorrow, also the weekend looking a little bit wet, but Sunday looking like the better day.
All right, well, you can hardly see her, but she's still up there. Miss Willow made her debut today. Thanks so much for making us a part of your day. We'll see you back here for more news tonight at 10.
You know our all-new Jeep Wrangler can go